By the end of 2026, baseball was an ungovernable, half-cloned, multinational mess. It was glorious. Welcome back to Baseball Dreamland. This is Community Chaos Season number 3, where the lovable lunatics I call a community continue to bend baseball reality until Out of the Park Baseball 26 begs for mercy. Last season, the mighty Dodgers fell to the Red Sox, and chaos reigned from coast to coast, witchcraft, voodoo, and maybe even a couple legal trades. The full 2026 madness is on tape. We'll let Boromir sum it up.
'Tis a barren wasteland.
The baseball gods gave us more universe. Leagues have formed in Canada, Japan, Australia, and yes, the Vatican. Asia's added a full-on relegation gauntlet from MLB to Japan to Korea to Australia. Survival of the weirdest. The Chicago White Sox and San Francisco Giants are gone. AL MVP Babe Ruth and NL Cy Young winner Kyle Harrison are free agents. And the Seattle Mariners, never ones to follow logic, left MLB entirely. They're going indie, taking Paolo Santini's major league dreams on a detour through the chaos. Seattle, not content with one club, has split itself like a hydra with commitment issues. Meet the Mariners, the Maniers, the Marvelers, and the Maimers. Each one joins an independent league across the U.S. The rest of baseball's just as sable. Honkball adds a Salt Lake City team, expansion clubs from Oakland, San Fernando Valley, Springfield, Tampa Bay, and Madrid join MLB. The 1919 White Sox return from purgatory to play at the Field of Dreams. The 2002 Expos are reborn. 5 Negro League teams rise again. West Michigan makes the leap. And the Dodgers? Yeah, they moved to North Dakota. You may remember North Dakota from nothing, which is probably why the Dodgers picked it. Bud Selig never paid the price for his contraction gaffe, but he might after this season, if his Milwaukee franchise, now known as the Careful Nows, finish with a worse record than the Montreal Expos or the Minnesota Twins, they're going to be contracted. But if they pull ahead of both, it's Montreal that disappears again. But Bud's got a trump card. He's signed Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, and Randy Savage. Either he's building a super team or an all-time ESPN 30 for 30 disaster.
Ooh, yeah!
MLB now has 44 clubs and no chill. Divisions? Gone. The AL clubs join the National League. The National League clubs join the AL. But it's renamed the Tostitos Fiesta League. Oh, and games can end in ties after 12 innings now, because why not? The Red Sox won it all in 2026. Their reward? MLB gifted their entire roster to the West Michigan Whitecaps like it's Oprah's giveaway day. You get Roman Anthony, and you get Marcelo Meyer. Meanwhile, the New York Mets, blessed with the top farm system in baseball, are going full youth movement. They released every major leaguer, including Juan Soto, now a free agent for the 5th time since breakfast. The Diamondbacks traded every American-born player they had, 17 of them, for Ronald Acuna Jr. It's not clear what they're building, but it's definitely not a World Baseball Classic team. The Angels players, bitter that they didn't get enough credit for their 2026 resurgence, retired. All of them, except for St. Peter and Cy Young. Management responded by cloning Mike Trout 38 times. They now have a Trout at every position, even closer. Let's just hope one of them can pitch. The Pittsburgh Pirates hired Barry Bonds as manager. His first move? Signed himself to play. His second? Declare he's just as dangerous as when he took steroids.
Right.
All of Major League Baseball's catchers are now free agents because the CBA forgot to include them. It's the deepest catching free agent pool in MLB history. New Staten Island Ferry Hawks GM Sam Whelan just bought Fernando Tatis Jr. from the Baltimore Orioles. One minute you're hitting nukes at Petco, the next you're reading a scouting report on Mac Lemieux, a weekend insurance agent with a 92-mile-an-hour sinker and a dream. As if the 1919 White Sox weren't cursed enough, 1917 Giants outfielder Benny Koff emerged from the cornfield. Paolo Santini forced his way out of Seattle too, headed to Dyersville to play Messiah for the Fallen. Last season, the Twins tried cloning. This year, it's Zen. They've swapped CRISPR for crystals. Their players have never been more centered, but can they hit a curveball? Free agency was wild. Babe Ruth signed with another Chicago team, the American Giants. Juan Soto joined the Pittsburgh Crawdads. Milwaukee gave up on Tom Brady and Randy Savage after a month, trading Randy to Honolulu and Tom to Toronto. Edwin Diaz signed with the Mets, but forgot something. He got Korean citizenship to pitch for Kium, and that means mandatory military service. Sorry, Edwin. Time to trade in your batting helmet for a different helmet. Roger Clemens is back, this time with the Cardinal Cannons of the Vatican League. He's dominant again, suspiciously so. Roger, you've been taking something again. Tim Lincecum's back too, signing a $44 million contract with the Chicago American Giants. That's a lot of money for a guy whose arm turned into a noodle. Dustin Ackley is back too. The Cleveland Spiders gave a 39-year-old a 3-year deal. His explanation? I got LASIK. Brett Phillips is back in the majors as a reliever. He got $118 million for 3 seasons. I hope the Isotopes know something we don't. LeBron James left basketball to try baseball. Like MJ before him, he's not good. Nobody wants him. Even the Savannah Bananas said, sorry, we're full. Spring training opened with scandal. The commissioner found a letter to his wife signed Love number 22. His response was totally rational. He showed it to the press and suspended every player wearing number 22 for the entire season. That includes Babe Ruth, Juan Soto, Spike Trout, all gone. But the real question, who's sleeping with Rob Manfred's wife? Drop your theories in the comments and I'll conduct a thorough investigation. After 5 months of unchecked madness, opening day is finally here. All 44 clubs set out to chase the same dream, World Series glory, plus survival, redemption, and possibly legal counsel. Who are you rooting for? Let me know in the comments before the league changes the rules again. The defending champion Red Sox, rebuilt from scratch, still have that clutch gene. Bo Bichette walks it off in the 10th. The dynasty rebuild starts with drama. Wilfredo Antunez lifts one to left, and we get what every baseball fan craves, a tie. Welcome back, Tampa Bay. Harry Owen drives in Blake Trout with a 9th inning single, the first win ever for the Colt 45s. That's right, Blake the clone. At 32-14, the Dyersville White Sox have risen from the cornfields to lead all of baseball. The London Capitals, they're 10-36 and might soon be getting sushi in Yokohama. In the Tostitos Fiesta League, the Islanders and Cubs sit atop the ladder, while the Pirates are battling gravity at 17-28. Klondike Trout leads MLB in WAR with 3.3 without a single home run. He's flirting with a 400 average while patrolling center for the Angels alongside Michael, Pike, and Bike Trout. Meanwhile in Springfield, Hype Trout is hitting .417 with 4 homers and a .216 WRC+. He and Reich Trout, both waived by the Angels, now have the Isotopes in second place. Moral of the story? Never trust an organization run by clones. It's a holy second act for St. Peter. 2.2 WAR, 5 wins, and a heaven-sent run prevention stat line. With a Trout-filled outfield behind him, he may never see a ball drop again. Heads up, the Gods are tweaking the settings mid-season. Intentional walks, deleted. Catchers, suddenly channeling Ivan Rodriguez in his prime. And if you don't like it, well, take it up with the Divine Settings menu. At the break, the Cubs lead the Tostitos Fiesta League. The Pirates and Spiders are in a relegation cage match. Dyersville tops the National League, but the Angels and Red Sox are closing fast, despite their rosters being held together with duct tape and divine intervention. In the contraction race, the Careful Nows are slipping 7 games behind the Zen Twins and counting. Ellie De La Cruz is up to 61 stolen bases and on track for 100 for the season. We'll see if he can make a run at the single-season record of 138 set back in the 1887 season. 4 career minor leaguers lead MLB in home runs. Carlos De La Cruz is on pace for 62. Cody Hess and Troy Johnson are right behind him. Coincidence? Or did someone find the Bonds Sosa McGuire starter pack in spring training? Either way, the home run race is must-see TV. Eddie Cicotte is loving his afterlife in Dyersville. 11 wins, 3.5 WAR, and second only to St. Peter among MLB pitchers. Maybe redemption arcs do exist, if you're willing to come back from the dead. The All-Star teams are in. The Red Sox lead with 6 representatives, including Yohan Duran and Abraham Toro. Other notables include St. Peter of the Angels, Tom Brady of the Blue Jays, Tim Lincecum of the American Giants, Jose Fernandez of the Marlins, Eddie Matthews of the Mets, Hank Aaron of the Careful Nows, and 7 clones of Mike Trout. Pipe Trout steps up to the plate in the Future Stars game and drills a deep fly into the right field bleachers for a grand slam. All the other Trout give a nice golf clap. The National League Future Stars blanked the Tostitos Fiesta League Future Stars 6-4. Pipe Trout is the game's most valuable player, beating our fellow outfielders Pike Trout and Tyke Trout. Asked why he's in AAA while the other Trout are in the big leagues, he answered, I feel like I'm just like them. Chris Myers wins the 2026 Home Run Derby, outslugging hometown hero Jesse Franklin V in the final. Myers also knocked out Luke Ritter and Carlos De La Cruz on his way to the final. Last year's Home Run Derby champion Shohei Ohtani didn't even receive an invite. Apparently chicks dig the long ball, the allegedly enhanced version of it. Jose Fernandez made his all-star return, but unfortunately Jeremy Pena wasn't feeling sentimental. He homered in the 11th to steal the moment. And the National League would hold on for their 4th straight win. Boston's Abraham Toro went deep, Kyle Muller of the London Capitals earned the win, and Cody Bradford of the Rangers collected the save for the National League. The Red Sox are going all in, trading 5 prospects for 63-year-old Barry Bonds. He's now their first baseman and still the Pirates manager. He's posted 5 WAR and slugged 20 homers. Rumors that he's drinking creatine smoothies through a fire hose remain unconfirmed. Labor Day check-in. The Chicago Cubs lead by 3 games over Washington, hoping for a ticket directly to the TFLCS. The Pirates and Spiders are hanging on to the ledge of survival. The Los Angeles Angels have overtaken Dyersville atop the NL standings, while the London Capitals are already packed for Japan. The Milwaukee Careful Nows are 7 games behind the Zen Twins and Expos, staring contraction in the face. Klondike Trout has been sensational for the Angels. 7 wins above replacement, 15 triples, a .338 batting average. What did that get him? Demoted to AAA. Can you imagine? But the Angels prefer Dyke Trout, despite posting a smaller WAR figure in the minors, but it's hard to go wrong with either one. The Cubs have surged behind Fernando Tatis Jr., who they purchased from Staten Island. 5 WAR, 136 WRC plus, and TFLCS dreams. Not bad for a guy whose last GM accepted payment via Venmo. The international seasons have wrapped. Hagerstown and Bournemouth finish atop the British League and will battle for an MLB spot. The Honkball playoffs feature Bussum and RCH, while Salt Lake City just missed out. The New York Yankees got even worse in 2027 and are now relegated to the Australian League. The JPPO thought it was 2025 and refused to play in 2027. The Swiss Guard Shields are champions of the Holy Baseball Academy, beating out Roger Clemens and his Cardinal Cannons. The Flying Boxcars soar back to Major League Baseball after defeating Bournemouth in 5. Tea time's over. Different opponent, but same result for Bussum, their 3rd straight Honkball championship after leading the Penguins flipping after 6 games. The Hanwha Eagles are the new champions of the KBO. Moo-Sang Kim with the highlight reel grab to seal their Game 6 victory over Samsung. The Edmonton Eagles win the inaugural Canadian League title 2-1 over the Hamilton Heatwave in Game 7. The Perth Heat are the champions of Australia after turning a nifty double play to end Game 6 against the Canberra Cavalry. Stateside, 2 Seattle Industrial Complex clubs won independent leagues. The Mainers won the American Association and the Mariners won the Pioneer League. Also, congrats to the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs and Mississippi Mud Monsters on their titles. Now back to MLB. The Chicago Cubs held on to first place in the Tostitos Fiesta League, and the Los Angeles Angels caught fire to finish first in the National League with 109 wins. The London Capitals are relegated to Japan, while the first-round stepladder loser is relegated to the British League. The Los Angeles Angels rode an outfield of Bike, Dyke, and McPike for a 27-WAR Trout outfield. St. Peter's 6-WAR didn't hurt either. It's going to take a miracle to stop this bunch. The Dyersville White Sox fought hard but fell short. By the end of the season, they had swiped 2 Trout from the Angels, but Joe Jackson, Paulo Santini, Eddie Cicotte, and the Ghost Squad weren't enough. The Boston Red Sox lost their entire roster and should be proud of their 89-win season. Abraham Toro broke out in a big way with nearly 9 wins above replacement. Barry Bonds injected some power into their lineup, and Chris Sale led the rotation. The Chicago Cubs didn't get divine help, but they finished first thanks to the contributions of Fernando Tatis Jr., Pete Crow Armstrong, and Justin Steele. We'll see if they can finish the job in the postseason. The West Michigan Whitecaps are last season's Red Sox, and they finished 4.5 games out of first place. Chris Myers broke out with 6 wins above replacement, and Marcelo Meyer is hitting his prime as well. The 2026 NL champion Miami Marlins couldn't repair their magic after losing Elly De La Cruz, but Jose Fernandez still shined to a 4-WAR campaign. Anything can happen in the stepladder, though. The New York Mets lost everyone and still survived to tell the tale. Eddie Matthews joined and led the club with 14 home runs. Rest in peace, Milwaukee Careful Nows. Despite recruiting 3 greats from other sports, they finished 76 and 85, worse than both the Minnesota Twins and Montreal Expos. Their punishment? Contraction, which leaves 25-year-old Hank Aaron as a free agent. Trading 17 Americans didn't work out so well. Ronald Acuña's performance was lukewarm, and Arizona endured an 88-loss season. The Cincinnati Reds led the Tostitos Fiesta League in home runs and runs scored, while the St. Louis Cardinals allowed the fewest runs and posted the best strikeout rate. The Los Angeles Angels led the National League with 958 runs scored and an 11% walk rate. Meanwhile, the Toronto Blue Jays allowed the fewest home runs and overall runs in the league, partially thanks to the league's second-best defense. Bike Trout led all of MLB in WAR with 11, while Troy Johnston led the league in 7 offensive categories, including 54 home runs. Michael Trout finished with a .387 batting average and 95 stolen bases. St. Peter led the league in pitcher WAR for the second straight season, 6.7 this time, and led a total of 8 pitching categories. Philadelphia's Andrew Painter cleaned up ERA, WHIP, BABIP, and opponent's average. Shout out to Bobby Seymour for the top hitting game score, and Carlos De La Cruz for the 4-homer game. On the mound, Tariq Skubal threw a no-hitter against the Chicago American Giants. Congratulations to Barry Bonds on reaching the 3,000 hit plateau, and all of the players who reached minor milestones during the 2027 season. No major milestones reached in the KBO unless 2,000 career hits is your thing. The Angels and Cubs dominated their leagues and are ready for title runs, but there's a slight problem. You see, postseason qualification is now random. The final act of divine meddling, a wheel spin. I don't make the rules. I just press spin. The golden ticket to the World Series goes to... Congratulations to the Philadelphia Athletics, somehow. Meanwhile, in a wild twist only community chaos could serve up, the 93-win West Michigan Whitecaps find themselves 1 loss away from getting booted out of the league. They travel to face the 75-win San Fernando Valley Heaters, who are mostly playing with pool noodles in April. 1 game, loser gets the British boot? San Fernando's hunting for an upset. Joey Bart grounds one to short, and the 93-win West Michigan Whitecaps are relegated to the British League. The Valley Heaters weren't done. They won 2 more games before getting stopped cold by the Cardinals. Now, Dustin Ackley and the Cleveland Spiders, baseball's most rebranded franchise, look to carry the Chaos torch into Honolulu. Bases loaded, 2-run game, Jimmy McAleer rolls over to third, and Cleveland's dream dies in the lava. Islanders advance. The Colorado Rockies survive the gauntlet, but with each step, the air gets thinner, and so do their odds. Because they've got a long way to go, and altitude won't help when you're up against a pack of snakes. The Diamondbacks took down the Rockies and now welcome the Boston Americans. Arizona traded away every American they had, and now irony is knocking. Top of the 10th, 2-1 for Ketel Marte. Who skies it? And that's it for the Diamondbacks. Traded all their Americans and got beat by the Americans.
Isn't it ironic? Don't you think?
The Americans lead the Cubs, but the bases are juiced. Adrian Morjon escapes. Cole Mathis flies out to center. Next stop, Oakland. The Unicorns are rallying, but Boston pulls off another escape. Max Schumann rolls one to second, and the Americans live to fight another day. Boston's magic carpet ride ended when they were tossed overboard by the Cuban Stars. Miami Marlins cleaned up the rest. Now we're down to 3 more games before the big boys join the fray. The Braves are on deck for the best-of-7 Tostitos Fiesta League championship, but the Mets, Padres, Marlins, and Reds still have something to say. Miami gave it a go, but the Reds had Yordan Alvarez back, and that's all it took. They smashed through the final steps of the stepladder and now await Atlanta. It's the Reds and Braves in a best-of-7 showdown. Cincinnati barely cleared 500, but they were missing Yordan Alvarez most of the season. Now he's back, joining Jesse Franklin V, who hit baseballs into the stratosphere. Atlanta counters with the double Spencer rotation, Schwellenbach and Strider, and an 86-win resume. The Reds led all of baseball in runs scored. Jesse Franklin V mashed 47 homers, Jackson Chourio added 6 WAR, and yes, everyone thinks they're on something. But Cincinnati's too busy to care. Chase Petty's led the staff with 4 WAR, despite being a meme just a season ago. Atlanta's strength is run prevention. Only one team gave up fewer runs all season. Schwellenbach posted 5 WAR, and Austin Riley and Drew Jones chipped in 4 each. The team split shutouts in Atlanta. Then Cincinnati took both games at home, momentum fully swinging their way, and Game 5 could finish it. Jesse Franklin V homered in the second, then launched a majestic opposite field bomb in the fourth. The Reds take a 2-0 lead and never look back. The Reds win Game 5, 3-1. Jesse Franklin V earns MVP honors after going 7 for 16 with 3 home runs. That V stands for very good. The Reds meet the Miracle Athletics, but will do it without Yordan Alvarez, who's hurt again. Philly just won 74 games, but ride Gage Jump's arm and Jacob Wilson's glove. This is their first World Series matchup since 1990, and it might be the worst ever on paper. Tight games throughout, none tighter than Game 4 when the Athletics walked it off in the 10th. They now lead the series 3-1 and are 1 win away from baseball's unlikeliest title. Jurickson Profar stands in as Cincinnati's last hope. His fly ball is caught by J.J. Bleday, and the Philadelphia Athletics are World Series champions. Congratulations to Asturi Ruiz on winning the World Series MVP award. He went 8 for 20 with a home run and 4 driven in during the series. That's the 10th World Series title in Athletics franchise history and their 6th in Philadelphia. 3 years ago, they were crashing on couches between Oakland and Sacramento. Now they're champions of baseball's multiverse. Wilyer Abreu won his 4th Gold Glove, while Ke'Bryan Hayes and Trey Turner won their 2nd each. Shout out to catcher Rafael Marchand, who threw out 58% of his base stealers. Fernando Tatis Jr. won his 3rd Silver Slugger award, and Jackson Chourio took home his 2nd. Chris Myers shocks the Tostitos Fiesta League, winning both the Rookie of the Year and MVP, just completely out of nowhere. Spencer Schwellenbach claims the Cy Young, and Devin Williams beat out Brett Phillips for Fireman of the Year. Andres Jimenez won his 6th straight Gold Glove award, Patrick Bailey earned his 4th award, and Carson Williams now has 3. Jackson Holliday and Gunnar Henderson won their 3rd Silver Slugger awards, and everyone else here is a first-time winner. Troy Johnston of Real Madrid goes full Chris Myers, MVP and Rookie of the Year out of nowhere, and St. Peter becomes the first pitcher in MLB history to win the Cy Young in both leagues in his first 2 seasons. Yohan Duran is your NL Fireman of the Year. That's a wrap for 2027. Want to wreak more havoc in 2028? Just drop one command in the comments by Halloween. That's all it takes. Let the madness resume. Huge thanks to everyone who helped turn 2027 into the funniest baseball disaster ever digitized. This train wreck keeps rolling, and somehow it's gaining speed. That's a wrap for the 2027 season. Hit that subscribe button so you're notified when the 2028 season releases. Also keep an eye on Twitch, where I am hosting some behind the scenes Ask Me Anything sessions, so hope you'll join for that. Otherwise, I'll see you for the next one.